Dog, you got fingerprints on your fingers. You are a one of one. Why would you deviate from the one of one that you are? Why would you allow somebody else to express your story instead of telling your story?
Good afternoon, everyone. We are 100 Years Enterprise. We're shooting season 6, Consequences of the Street Life. We're just sitting on the couch, having a conversation. My name is Fahim.
I'm Patrick.
And our next guest, let me take a sip of this coffee first. When we talk about history, where we come from, how things began. Now, this is just a history, how me and this brother met. And as we talk, we're gonna go into it. But when you come from long-term incarceration, you sit in the halfway houses. In my case, and you receive a text message and a phone call from someone you don't even know who they are, and they say, "Hey, man, let's have a conversation." Now, we develop a friendship, and today we having a different conversation. But we're gonna get into the first conversation. But before we do that, we want to welcome my man Pendarvis to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So Pen, man, in brief, just tell the listeners who you are.
Sure, man. I'm a human being. I read and write, man. That's it. Nothing major.
Yeah. You are, but you do more than that.
They give me the title of a journalist, which means I get to serve my community by telling stories about the community. And so I work for KQED, where I cover arts and culture. I write about hip-hop, politics, science, you name it. But it usually starts with art as the talking piece, and then we dive into the much deeper topics.
Okay. How did you get into that? What made you want to really get into the art and a dialogue and talk about politics for the culture?
Man, I grew up in it. I grew up in Oakland, and art is everywhere. And I was specifically in the community of artists who rap and do poetry. And I loved it. It was fun. And then at one point I realized no one's telling a story about us. And so there was a program called Youth Radio. Then it turned into Youth Media, and it's since now defunct. But Youth Radio introduced me into telling stories that didn't have to rhyme. So I put the rap into the back, and I started doing journalism and telling stories about my community. I ended up going to undergrad at Howard University, and then I went to grad school at UC Berkeley, where I did documentary film. And so I know multimedia, like through and through. And then I honed in on art because of my background in and growing up in artist circles. And I still had access to this community. And I realized that I could be an investigative reporter. I can do a whole bunch of different types of reporting, but I feel like art was a way to get into the much larger topics without it being so cumbersome, without it being so heavy, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how we got there.
I love it.
Okay, so you kind of touched on this thing because I grew up in Oakland too.
Okay.
Right? I always say I was born and raised in Oakland. I'm a surrogate of Richmond because I be out here so much.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say something about you. Are you like a Tech alumni, Skyline alumni, or what?
I'm a rare breed, man. I'm K-8 Oakland Public Schools, and then I got a scholarship to go to Athenian out in Danville.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would get shipped every day from, at that point I was living in South Berkeley, North Oakland, and Seminary during high school.
Right.
And I got shipped out to Danville, which is like, it's at the foot of Mount Diablo. It's one of the wealthiest communities in the East Bay.
Right.
And I got a scholarship because of writing. And so I went out there, I played baseball. I hated it. It was not only the race issue, but also the class.
Yeah.
It was like, I would come home and the lights would be off, but I'm going to school next to where Ep04's house is.
It made no sense.
Exactly. It didn't financially. So I started to really see the economic oppression, if you will, that me and my people were facing. And so, but I hung out with Oakland High and Oakland Tech cats. I grew up hanging out. I lived on all three corners of the town, but it was the 20s that really like showed me the world. And so the Twomps, exactly, the Dubs. So hanging out by the Manzanita Center was like where I first like really started to learn the ways of the world.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I got it. Well, I love it. When we talk about the culture, what, from your perspective, what is so rich about the culture of the youth in Oakland from the last decade as you understand it?
From the last decade specifically?
Yes, for the last 10 years.
Oh, dang. Okay, as I understand it.
That's a lot.
I think.
Or we can go 5 years.
No, because it.
Because I met you 6 years ago.
Right.
7 years ago.
Dang.
So 3 years before I met you.
So over the time that I've been doing it, so I've been doing journalism for 20 years. This is my 20th summer doing it, right?
Okay.
In the professional sense, working at KQED for the past 5 years, right?
Okay.
So even before that, I was doing this work. I was doing projects where I was interviewing elders. I had this one called OG Told Me, where I was interviewing elder black men and giving them tidbits of wisdom. The goal of that project was to be a bridge and pass it down to the next generation. I was teaching at Oakland Tech at the time.
Okay.
And so I got firsthand experience about, you talking about that youth like movement.
Yeah.
I taught at Tech. I taught at Ralph Bunch, which was a continuation school. And so I really got a sense of what young folks were going through, even though I was not too much older than they were. And the one thing that I can say is through and through is that the history of Oakland pours into what they do. Like, folks continue it. And the history, it can be like Black Panther history. It can be like the history of unionizing and like coming together. It could be the history of hyphy movement. Like that all pours into what young folks do. And they'll take that same energy and they'll put a spin on it, you know, and like update it and be innovative about it. And that's what I really love doing, like taking in.
So how do you navigate the story? Meaning that, okay, just say the hyphy movement started what, like 205, maybe?
That's when it got like mainstream. But if you ask folks who was out there, they was like 98 was the first time I heard it. And then 02 was when it was like lit. And then 05 is when MTV picks it up, you know? And
so how did you begin to tell us stories about that?
How could I not? Right? You know, I grew up in it. So I jumped off the porch at 18 and I graduated. I'm class of 2005 graduate.
Right.
And so in 2006, that's me, like first year full adult, and I lose two close friends, one in January and one in October. And so I'm like, I'm in it, you know? And I'm a journalist, like trying to like find my grounding. And so I'm running around town with a camera in my hand and I'm documenting at the time.
So you wasn't someone who saw something on the news, I want to write it down. You had to go up in the trench of the heart of it.
Yeah, first person experience. Like, get as close to the source as possible. That's always the goal, right? And on top of that, like, my best friend is a turf dancer. And he's a very well-known turf dancer. And so I'm not only just, like, filming it from, like, the crowd, I'm on the stage with him, you know, and, like, after the parties and really taking it in. And again, it came to a point where I realized that it's not just about telling the story of the dancers. You gotta take a step back. Why they dance? What story they tell? What oppression are they escaping? You know, like how are they finding freedom? There's very human stories here, and that's what I really like. How do I go about navigating it? Like, what is this story a microcosm of? What's the much larger picture? Right. And that's how I know if a story is worthwhile.
I love it.
Me hearing you and knowing what I know about Oakland, right, in regards to that, right? It's a very interesting question I want to ask you in regards to Oscar Grant, because I know that changed the climate. You said 2005. Was that around the time?
Oscar Grant is 2009 and 2010, and so yes, yeah.
Okay, so in that climate, right? How was that shift? Because I know that was a big thing.
Yeah.
When that happened, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you talk about the like hyphy rebellious energy of 2005 and all
Right.
that. Yeah. It carries over into the uprisings to make sure that the police are held accountable for the killing of Oscar Grant. Right. And so that same energy just got politicized when people saw the killing of Oscar Grant on film. Like, that's one of the first filmed killings that really became viral, if you will, from cell phone footage, right? And it helped me as a journalist to see the power of the work that I was doing, because I'm on the ground telling these stories. Like, I teamed up with an artist by the name of Young Gully, who's from Seminary in East Oakland. And we put out an album called the Grant Station Project, where Gully wrote songs and I did journalism, and we put it all together in an audio form. Okay. And it showed me that, like, being on the ground telling this story, it gives people a different perspective than mainstream media.
Yes, it does.
And so I was like, okay, I'm on to something here.
Yeah.
What I can say years later is that pretty much everybody who was involved in the movement to make sure that these cops were held accountable for what they did to Oscar Grant, people have used that to launch them into some other type of activism, some other type of art. There's people who've become playwrights, people who've become like organizers but that spark came from being mad about the system with Oscar Grant, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I've seen that over the years that lingers, you know?
And was you able to connect with the director that did that movie?
Ryan Coogler?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I interviewed him just this past spring when Sinners came out.
Okay.
But been connected with him as well as the family of Oscar Grant.
Yeah.
Uncle Bobby, Cephas X. Johnson.
Right.
Oscar Grant's like one of his biggest advocates and also his blood uncle.
Right.
Like he's been a friend of mine since then when I've watched him grow. I talked about like the change since.
Yes.
He's become like a frontline advocate for the work that needs to be done,
Right.
as well as Oscar Grant's mom, who's become a reverend now. You know, it's like so the changes, the growth.
Hey, you ever met the dad, Oscar Grant?
No, I've heard tales, and I'm familiar.
That's his
I'm
cousin.
I'm familiar with the story.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I can call him right now. So I'm
Yeah,
saying,
okay.
if you ever choose to want to document that or go into that, you know what I mean, privy to I can get in contact with him because he got an interesting story too as well.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank
So
you.
he built. Right now he's working with Rudy now from.
Okay, in the city.
In the city. But yeah, man, I'm just because when you said hyphy move, I knew it was the backdrop of that and all that happened. That's kind of like poured into that. And
one thing leads to the next, big gas the next, and then you have like the Occupy stuff that happens then after, and Giants win the championship, gentrification takes all. So like seeing the Bay Area change over the past 2 decades has been really interesting because I'm not just like from the outside. It's not a spectator sport. I'm in it, and so yeah.
Hey, Penn, I want to say people don't know this, but I want to say thank you because basically this man discovered me.
Nah.
Wow.
Well, in a sense, you did, and this is why. I was on the halfway house, 2 weeks? Mm. And you and Brandon Tarzan, y'all reached out to me. So my question is, how did we get there?
How do we even get there? All right, so full context, right? Full context.
How we get there,
So
man?
myself and a photographer by the name of Brandon Tazik, we're working on a project called Facing Life. The whole goal of the project was to look at California's overcrowded prisons and the changes to laws and how people who have served decades are now being released. And our big question was, who's there to assist them to like navigate society as they reenter, right? And we found 8 individuals all throughout the state of California, all who had life sentences at one point, and things have been changed, and now they're back out into the world. How we found you, I don't even recall.
I forgot. I just know I got a phone call to text. We just started talking. Next thing you know, we at the mosque talking and filming.
I don't know if they say this anymore, but I'm going to say it. I may be a little ancient, but I'm going to go ahead and add it. God did.
God did. No, I mean, that community did as well.
Yeah.
I know. We reached out to community members. We reached out to, we reached out to parole agents. We reached out to organizers, folks doing grassroots organizing to make sure that there's people assisting. So we reached out to, like, people within that arena. I don't know how we specifically landed on you and your story, but your story was fascinating. One of my earliest memories of you was you were on a mission to get some workout gloves.
Yeah.
He was
when I first came home.
Yeah, he's like, man, I gotta get these workout gloves. I was like, he really, really wants to like work out. And since then you've been on that health kick.
Yeah.
Like to this, and so it's been fascinating to see like that the early iteration of you. There's the images of you like in the mosque. And like how you were carrying yourself at that time,
yes,
and the seeds that were planted then, and how they've grown since. Through this podcast, through your family, through the health work that you do in the community, it's been dope to me to see. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, man. And also I want to just thank everyone, the community, and again the grassroots organization. Everyone made it come together, and it could be done, through the power of God.
Yeah.
And I want to say, man, we got to get Brandon. I know Brandon stay busy.
Yeah, I texted him already. I let him know.
Let him know you was coming?
Yeah, he's doing some work actually with an organization that works with folks who've been impacted by the system right now.
Yeah.
As well.
So how's Facing Life going now?
It's well. We did it. So again, the project we kind of charted folks' movement for about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
published it almost 3 years ago now. And I should say the project was pretty big.
It was good. It was nice.
It was the biggest project I've done outside of my 9 to 5. It was backed by the Pulitzer Center, which is like internationally known. It was published in the LA Times initially. It got picked up in a couple of other places. We went on a speaking tour where we spoke at Yale and Harvard. We had some folks who were featured in the project coming to, like, when we spoke at USC. We did something at, like, San Francisco.
We went to the San Francisco thing. They had something with the Pulitzer there. And then they supposed to did the release, but COVID hit. Remember, COVID kind of shut a lot of stuff down.
Yeah.
But we stayed going. But we did do something on Zoom with the Pulitzer Center also, which is good. It was great.
And so that was really the goal. It's like, we can, myself and Brandon, we could do this project and we could speak about it, but making sure y'all tell y'all stories firsthand. Again, primary source, you know? And the whole goal of it was to show these legislators, these people who've made these changes to these laws, like, this is the lasting impact.
Right.
And what we found was that it's not just about showing these legislators, elected officials, it's also about showing the person who works at the DMV or the teacher or the potential boss who could hire somebody that, like, this is who you are gatekeeping against if you don't work with this community. You know what I'm saying? And it had a lot of conversation. It was real fruitful. It has a lasting impact in terms of the way I think about telling stories, because we use cinemagraphs, so not like GIFs, but like very subtly moving pictures, you know? And so, the images, and it served a purpose because they were so slow and subtly moving. People, a lot of folks we talked about, I'm sure y'all might attest to this, talked about the speed at which society moves when they get out of the joint. And it's like how fast people are and how, like, impersonal, like, people just don't stop and talk to you, you know?
Right. Well, how was it? I'll say this. Was it 2018 fight? 2019 when this all came about?
2018.
2018. Reason because I'm tying in the timeline. Yeah. I was talking to him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And he was kind of just like giving it to me, because I'll put to you like this. When you're telling me, I'm talking to you on the phone and you never been through our experience. Yeah. The way you telling me it's coming across, but it's generalizing. But the way he's telling me, personal, it's like, damn, like that, because the walk that he's took. Now he's in the acclimation mode, right? So he's telling me, like, I'm like talking about the job he got, and I'm like, I'm so happy for you got that job. He's like, man, it's killing me out here, man, you tripping. But the way he's relaying the information, right, it's huge, because some of the things he told me to write Rising Sun, to do these things, right? He's paving a way for me, because I got out in 2020.
Gotcha.
So it's very interesting how that, I would like to capture that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what you're saying. Again, going back to the primary source, the first person, the emotion in which he says it. Right. I don't have the emotion. He's like, you were working on constructing where the Warriors played, right?
Exactly.
And that's what I remember. Yeah, exactly. So and so that stress, I haven't experienced it. I can't speak from the depths of my soul about it. But what I can say is taking a step back and talking to 8 different people and say, hey, all of these 8 people, as well as, like, I've worked at California Medical Facility and worked at San Quentin. So I've just thinking about all my different experiences with prisons. I'm like, it's kind of a each one, reach one situation where somebody gets out and ahead of time and you get the lay of the land, and then your partner about to get out in a minute. It's like, hey, hit this organization. This is how the system works. And that's really what got us thinking about, like, wait, if the people are doing the work, then what is the government doing? You know, like, who's there to support outside of these individuals? Because lo and behold, there will be one individual who gets out who doesn't have somebody looking out for them. You know, what do they do then? So you hit the nail on the head for sure.
Right. It's interesting just to hear how you guys, because I remember that time, you know what I mean? And it's a trip, because I wouldn't say excitement for him. It was more so certain. Like, he'd give me the certainty. Like, he walking through the process, but at the same time, not walking with no fear. And he was relaying that to me, because I had fear. Like, man, okay, what is that going to be like when I get out? You know what I mean? And he assured me, hey, man, you just get out and do this, do that, do this. So it's like, it's a trip, man, hearing you. So I've been knowing him, but he's like, Pendarvis. So I want to say, man, you know, that thing that you cultivated with him is special to me, too, as well, because I was able to talk to him. Absolutely. And he shared that with me, and I ended up going to Rising Sun.
Dope.
You know, in COVID. Yeah. Was it during COVID?
Right after COVID.
Right after COVID, but I was in COVID when I got it, and they didn't approve me, and I had to wait. But I remember all these things happening, man. It's just a trip. Your name was always in that realm, brought up. And so I met you downtown Oakland, meet you again, hearing you for the first time. Like, this is it's really humbling.
Appreciate that.
I think also what sometimes things get messed over when you meet a good person and a person does something for you and we just leave it at that. And I think what happened was that we stay in contact, stay checking in. Man, how you doing?
Yeah.
You never ask for anything, maybe it's a piece of information, but it's always a genuine connection, a brotherhood. Just, man, how you doing? This is what's going on. You know what I mean?
That, and as well as proximity. Like, I crossed your path at in Vallejo, by the water.
Yeah.
And then also at the plant shop.
At the plant shop.
And seeing you, so that's like, that is the definition of community, you know? And so it's not just a transactional thing. It's actually, we are in community. We are, it's a verb, you know?
Yeah, you know, for instance, I had actually read recently, I was some information I was looking for. And he said you was gonna check in for me. Something was happening in the community, and I was trying to find out something. But anyway, let's need to hear there. So, what has been your biggest challenge in being a journalist?
Man.
For us, a young black man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, ooh, goodness, man. So many of them. As of late, my biggest challenge is just like the state of the media. And, you know, like, I'll see what's going on. And it's like, question everything and get no answers about anything.
Right.
What's the value of this storytelling? Is it, you know, it's like question like what am I even doing here? And so those existential questions, if I've reached that point, that means I did something right in order to get there. The other stuff is like the imposter syndrome that I think a lot of people face, where it's like, I don't belong here. And journalism is a very intellectual sport. And so I've worked at outfits that didn't fit me. I did tech writing for 9 months. And I was like, I'm sitting if this were high school, I wouldn't be sitting at this lunch table. I just didn't feel comfortable there. And I took that on the nose to mean that I wasn't smart. No, my intelligence doesn't just apply to them. No, that's what. So just overcoming imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, you said?
Yeah, imposter syndrome, where you don't feel like you belong, man.
Oh my God.
And that's it's a lot of people face that, you know.
What do you do about that? I
was telling a friend, like, actually, we don't belong here. There's a long history that says that we shouldn't have been here. We weren't supposed to be on that boat. You know what I'm saying? We are imposters, you know?
We are.
So stand in it. Like, go ahead, make good of it. Like, we shouldn't be here, but also we are.
Yes.
And so do the best you can, you know, put your best foot forward. And I think it's imposter syndrome is another way to just say just being too much in your head. Too much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all it is.
He tell me that a lot.
Get out of your head, you know, and just do the thing.
Just
do the thing,
release.
man. That's it. And like, I was interviewing a boxer, Daisy Bamberger, and she was talking about like how she like goes about boxing. She's young at the time; she was 17 or so. She was like, I just let my hands fly, and I kind of rely on my training and get out of your head and just like let your hands fly. And I think about that with writing sometimes, where if I'm writing something for a big publication, I might be nervous because hundreds, thousands of people might see it. But if I just let my hands fly, I've been doing this work. I've been writing and telling stories all my life.
Right.
So just let it happen. So yeah, that's it. And then the Bay Area, specifically doing journalism in the Bay Area, writing about our community is tough because we've been wronged so many times. And so you have to be gentle. Yeah.
So do you write in a way to like warn the people? Like, this won't come. I see it. Now let me warn you.
No, not necessarily. Not a lot of that. I think I do more so, hey, y'all, we're dealing with this right now. Here's some history of when we dealt with it before. And so, and I'm doing that through art. A good example of is right now at the Huey P. Newton Museum in downtown Oakland, there's an exhibition dedicated to all the Black Panther survival programs, 50-plus programs that they had to benefit the community because the government wasn't meeting people's basic needs.
I didn't know they had 50 plus.
Exactly, all types of programs, man. And so
they started the free lunch program.
I remember that
free
one.
lunch, but like just little things like helping people get groceries and like medical stuff. And so in light of what's happening on the federal level of like cuts to people's like essential welfare, I'm like, here's a good time to write about this that happened, you know, decades ago when people stepped in place of the government because this is going to need to happen again. So it's not necessarily forewarning; it's more so looking at history for guidance.
Okay. So with that, I saw something on the news Friday morning. I took a picture of it.
Yeah.
Donald Trump told Washington, D.C. about the crime rate of the youth. You heard about that?
Yeah. My mom just told me about that.
Oh, so what you think about that? Because he want to go back and get these 14-year-olds up. They said a crime rate of youth is going up, and then to get them life sentences.
Police state. I mean, more evidence of it. Well, I mean, why do we need more evidence? But we know where we live. We know what country this is. And when you say that, I just think of a bloated budget. That just means deeper investment into the police state. And so, yeah, that's all I hear.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add that Donald Trump had a history of, even when the Park 4, New York Park 4, when he wanted them kids to get 14 in life. I mean, life sentence. And matter of fact, death row.
Yeah.
For the white girl that got killed, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't do it. And they ended up serving some time. Remember, there was a big old story about that. His position was the same as it is now. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever there's a high crime rate in certain pockets that people of color are in, he's quick to come with these kind of rulers that, I hate to say it, the majority of the people, European, because this country is 61% European, voted for. They voted. He's in office. Yeah. So he's sharing their sentiment, you know what I mean, and their views. And but when it comes to us, I think it's a challenge because, making the youth aware of these things. How do we do that? How do we make them aware?
Exactly. How do you make them concerned about it? Like, that's really the big thing.
That's the thing. How we wake them up. And y'all know, like you said about history.
Yep.
History known to repeat itself.
Yep.
Anything they took, it's always something to replace it or to put it back and to make it stronger. Because we started weasing inside. When they started letting people go on life sentences, if you don't do this, then this is going to happen. But if you do this, something else is going to happen.
Yeah. It's wild. It's hard. But as much access we have to information, there's so many distractions.
Man.
And so, like, there could be a storm going on, we talking political storm, but there could be a literal storm going on down the block. If you're on your phone and you're just scrolling, you have no idea that the flood is coming.
No idea.
And so that's something I don't know. I've been out of the classroom for a couple of years now, and I've been interested in. I do workshops every now and then.
Yeah.
When I step into the classroom, I often ask students, high school, junior college students, where do y'all get your information from? And it's largely social media. And it's like, if that's where you're getting your information from, then that's you're getting your information from a distraction. And not to say that there isn't valid information on social media, but that's not the greatest source,
That's deep. Yeah, because now what I have to start doing, a challenge for me, by mentoring the youth. So now I started, basically 2 weeks ago, when they come in, even they don't want to because of distractions, I take their phone. I didn't ask them for their phone, but if you're going to allow me to help you learn and get this education, what we're going to need together in this little space right over here.
No distractions. You know what? I ain't going to lie to you, bro. This is real. When I started teaching at California Medical Facility, I appreciated the time away from my phone.
Yeah.
And we were doing writing workshops for like 3 hours.
And God, I almost had an aneurysm. Because I got into, when they sent me to Susanville, separating me and them for my actions, right? They sent me to Susanville. I was able to get into the business class. That they started the business class in a remote prison called Susanville.
Yep.
Meaning that less than 1% of the population in the prison industry is going to be tied to that. They started it there. If it didn't make it there, it was going to belly up. Right. So they had the business class there. And what happened was they picked people based on their IQ that has the temperament, based on their education, what they realized in our file, right? So they picked 15 of us out of prison. They said, we can't quit. If we quit, the program going to belly up. So in a sense, I was glad that I went, but out of the 15, maybe 9 and 10 didn't want to do it, and we had to convince the 6 had to convince the 9, hey, man, don't quit, because we enjoyed it. But my point is this. The teachers that came in to teach us business, right, they say that, just what you made a point, that they can't teach the kids in college anymore because they're on their phones and they're not really learning it. They're just getting the answers from the phone. And so they're not really they can't really have depth dialogue about systems and how systems work. Because really college in those situations are about innovation.
Yeah.
Okay, how can we make it better? How can we make with more younger minds to develop?
Instead of just getting
the
answer.
Cutoff, right.
Yeah.
So the cutoff is if you're not developing and you're relying on, like you said, jaded or
distractions.
Destructive information. Yeah, it may be there, but it's destructive as well, right? So that's why they wanted to do the pilot program in prison.
Yeah, that's
The
wild.
teachers love coming up in there teaching us that
Because not distraction. You don't
no
have
distraction.
Chat GBT. You don't have the AI.
And the
stuff.
kids
Yeah.
are clever. They passing the answers to each other with them phones and all that in the college. So they like, man, and a lot of the college is dwindling because kids now feel no need to go to college to have these think tank conversations because they have this.
Think tank. Yeah, that's it. Article I'm writing right now is about a film festival called the Worst Film Festival, and it's all about filmmakers getting up and showing their blunders, their mess ups. And I'm like, imagine if math class was like that. Instead of the dude with the right answer, the kid with the wrong answer gets up there and like, this is how I got this. And it's like, you can learn. It's reverse engineering about the learning process, as well as like learning people to just feel comfortable admitting their failures, their struggles, and that would be a hell of a way to learn.
Right.
What better teacher is there than failure, you know?
Exactly. You just mentioned Chat GPT. What is your thoughts on Chat GPT? I mean, I know AI is here and all that there, but when it comes to writing letters and resumes, what stuff like that what we should really have a nice understanding about? What you do?
Dog, you got fingerprints on your fingers. You are a one of one. Why would you deviate from the one of one that you are? Why would you allow somebody else to express your story instead of telling your story? Now, I understand to use it as a tool of assistance to maybe give you some brainstorming to help like bring together your story, or maybe like use the vocabulary. If you need to expand your vocabulary, then what's another word for this? So use it as a tool. Don't use it as the end all be all. Exactly. And I'll say that ChatGPT specifically, I haven't delved deep into, but AI or just like technology's assistance has been around for years. Like we've been doing, like when you write and they automatically autocorrect or automatically fill in, or like just even the fact that I remember like 4 phone numbers. My memory is in my phone. So like technology has been around, but I've been using it as a tool to assist me on my path, you know?
Right.
And so to younger folks who are just relying on technology, I would say that like make sure that your muscle is tight, your storytelling muscle is tight, and use that as a tool to assist you in your storytelling path.
I'm glad you said it because recently I was going over a scope of work for a grant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now someone was helping me do it. I don't know exactly who it was, maybe some old information, but anyway, I'm looking at it. I said, hold on. I gotta change this. Those not my words.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, I'm like that. I had to delete some things, go over it again. Yeah, to make it make some sense as it's coming from me, then submit it.
And you know what else? You know what else I recognize too? We got on the cusp of this by doing this business side of it, is that people come to us, or I should say in general, come and say they're gonna help us, right? But they using that process, and we get it as if they're helping us, something that we could have did ourselves in regards to the GPT.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what they do is now, the big thing is, so tell me how you want your organization. So they get the cues of what we do, and then they plug it into the GPT.
Like you couldn't do it yourself.
And then it just kicks it out itself. Yeah. And then they give it to us like they did the work. And then they charge us as if they done the work. So it took me a while to catch it. And I said, you know, because one time we was looking at the same document, and he was like, man, we gotta put ourselves in here.
Yeah, I think that is something. Do you think there's people taking advantage of you because they think that your game goofy because you're older, or because you spend time, or
all of that, yes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
They know, or sometimes they look at it, they know what we got, and they just want to control it.
Oh, they see the potential.
It's a benefit, but I don't want you to own it. It's good.
Yeah,
it's great. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But I want to control it because I know you don't know how great.
Yeah.
You know, it can be or is.
Your story is golden. I mean, generally speaking, your own individual story is golden. I'm very familiar with his story. Mm-hmm. His story is golden. I'm sure yours is as well. And I mean, we met briefly and we talked about even the name of this podcast and how it comes from this golden connection that you have. Don't belittle that. Mm-hmm. Don't, you know what I'm saying, just try to like package it and sell it. Like, no, really, like take time, tell your story. I'm big on 6-word stories.
Right.
My favorite one is take your time, do it right. My mom used to say it when I was catting off. Take your time, baby, do it right. Yeah. I get older, I'm like, oh, take your time, period. This is my time. Do it. Go out and experience the world. Right with the W. Take your time, do it right. And so
I like that.
I really believe in that.
Yeah, because we have to. And again, people will come up when they think you young, age old, young in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, we can turn anything because we know you just coming home. What people do, you just gonna look for $1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think through those trials and tribulations and just the learning process with a good experience has led us to say we're not just going for anything. You know, we're willing to accept the loss as a lesson. Because all loss is not a lesson. I mean, all lessons isn't lost. So being able to understand those things have led us here today. And just being patient and learning in our individual way, collectively also just growing to be who we are today. And I just continue to say every day, man, thank you for being here.
Oh man, appreciate it. Like I said, man,
always.
Like as a person who tells stories, I also love stories.
Yeah.
So I love seeing y'all story grow.
Right.
So,
you know, because I didn't think I'd be here. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, PN, what else you got going on?
What else I got going on, man? Let's see. I got a little one, raising her. That's my focus.
Oh, okay.
Not the one you got one after the one?
No, just one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my focus. A full-time dad. Doing journalism, reading and writing. I've been focused on writing about films in the Bay Area, film culture. Obviously, keep at least one foot on what's happening in prisons, because I feel like that really dictates a lot about the state of California and this country as a whole. And then what else am I doing? I got a couple of other projects that I'm really excited about this fall and later this year. Some experimental writing, like creative writing, dabbling in poetry and stuff. So.
Right. Have you ever wrote what's going on inside the youth institutions, like juvenile halls and stuff like that?
Nah, not enough.
Not enough?
I did some work early on when I first started doing journalism, going off to 150th in East Oakland and in Stockton, doing some visits there. But not enough. I haven't done a sufficient amount.
You want him to pick our brain? You might got to come pick our brain about
Why
that.
not?
Yeah,
I welcome it. You know, man,
Yeah.
I welcome it.
I'm open to it. Yep.
Yeah.
I welcome it.
Yep.
Because, we go inside, 3 days a week? And then we got other mentors go inside too.
What institution?
Martinez.
Okay.
Martinez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah. I'm open to it.
All right. Where can the people find you at?
You can find me running around the streets, camera in hand,
All right.
at art events. Pendarvis Harshaw, OG Pen on every platform. That's OGPENN. Instagram is I'm on that way too much.
Yeah, OG Pen.
Yeah.
OG Pen.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for this, man.
Thank you. And we are 100 Years Enterprise, Consequences of the Street Life. We just sitting on the couch having a conversation. I know we didn't get everything, but hey, you only can get so much. But continue to follow him, watch his work. He's doing so much. He's a good friend of mine, brother, man. And again,
My God.
thank you so much.
Also,
Yes,
too, man,
yes.
like as this is feed off of how you just said, we getting it in doses. But as you say, this is a new podcast, as a new set, man. We gonna be putting them out, man, and we're gonna have great visits, man. Hopefully, see you soon again.
Yep.
And check us out, man. 100 Years Enterprise, man. Always is a pleasure.
Always. Keep telling your story.
Instagram, 100 Years DOP. Go to our YouTube, 100 Years Enterprise Podcast. Our website, 100years.biz. Facebook, 100 Years Enterprise. Peace, love, and happiness. We out.